Go check out Hotel Artemis and go check out Silver Scream Analyst. He has a review for this movie as well. And I want you to check him out and just give him some support and some love. Prepare yourself, guys. Let's visit the Hotel Artemis. Now, I just saw this movie and I want to go over the characters first before I get into the full detail of the story. Now, we have, first off, you have Sterling K. Brown, who played Waikiki. Waikiki is let's say he's not a hitman, but he's a professional criminal who has problems in his personal life. He's always being held back by his little brother, played by Brian Tyree Henry. And they get themselves into a little bit of trouble when they rob a bank. And in the middle of this bank robbery, there's a lot of things happening. It's the year 2028, the not too far off future. The situation that the country, the state, the city is in, there is a water shortage. And now that the water that people pay for, your water bill, now they have the right to cut your water off. So now the people, we're going to react normally. They're going to riot. They're going to protest. They're going to fight the law. And while the rich are trying to protect the rich, and they're just giving up on the people who can't afford to pay for their probably too expensive water, in the middle of all this chaos, Sterling K. Brown, Mr. Waikiki, his character has an idea to rob these rich people in the middle of these riots. He figures that Waikiki has the ability to see things play out or predict things as they probably should play out, depending on the situation at hand. Throughout the whole movie, the theme was always don't play with what you hope to have. You play with the tools that you currently have. It was a pretty solid message that was going on throughout the entire movie. Leading into the problems after little brother gets wounded, now it's time to head to the Hotel Artemis, a place where criminals can go to get patched up. No questions asked, no cops, things like that. Hotel Artemis is run by Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster plays Jean Thomas, doctor. She's referred to as the nurse. Also by Dave Bautista. He's also he's Everest. He's like the muscle, but he's really an orderly, and he assists Jodie Foster. Hotel Artemis has rules, and we'll get into a little bit of that later. Later on in the line, you see that people who are already at the Hotel Artemis are Charlie Acapulco. He's an arms dealer, an asshole. And he's pretty much the comic relief that pretty much moves things along from point A to point tragedy. And then we have the character that, let's say, about 65% of the reason why I really wanted to watch this movie, and that's Sophia Boutella. Sophia Boutella plays Nice. Now, everyone who's a guest in the Hotel Artemis is assigned a room, and the room is named after beautiful places, Nice, Acapulco, Waikiki, things like that. So that's pretty much why these people have these code names. It's based on the rooms that they're assigned to. Nice is a hit woman, and she's there for a specific reason. She also knows that somebody important should be coming to the Hotel Artemis, and she's assigned to kill that person. Then you find out later that Nice and Waikiki have a little bit of a past. Obviously there was a love connection there, but it didn't work out because one of the reasons why is because he's being held back from his full potential, just because he's always looking out for his little brother. And Nice points this out. You could be one of the greats. You could have gone international. And it's not because you don't have a passport, it's because you prefer to stay put in the situation that's always keeping you down. You're in a situation where you're stuck in a riot. Police are everywhere. Police are looking for you because you just robbed the bank. You're surrounded by people in the streets who want to kill people. They're angry. They want to riot. They want to rage. Police are everywhere. You need to leave the country. You're in a safe house, but it's not safe anymore because a person that you've also wronged is also on his way to you. Every bit of this story was a good adventure. It was a nice time. I enjoyed it a lot. I found myself rooting for these anti-heroes, these bad guys, and just trying to figure out how you're gonna get out of this. Jodie Foster's character, she obviously brought her A game. Sterling K. Brown was perfect. I felt like Bautista, ever since Brax from Guardians of the Galaxy, directors now know how to use Bautista. They don't give him all the dialogue in the world, but the dialogue that they do give him, He's straight to the point. He throws a couple of good quips in there. He's pretty funny at times, and sometimes he's intimidating. And then at the same time, he can be very soft. He can be very sensitive. So he's a mixed bag. And little by little, as things get along, like The Rock wasn't the greatest actor in the beginning, his acting got progressively better because now directors know how to use Batista's talent. So Batista's the first person to tell you that he's not the greatest actor in the world. But as you get through these, hopefully he's not being the typecast as just a muscle guy and whatnot, because within that character, there's some levels there. So his acting will get progressively better. Don't be surprised if we see Dave Bautista out there in more dramas in the future. I think he's starting to excel. But overall, Jeff Goldblum, he brought it all home. He brought his A game the way Jeff Goldblum can. It felt like watching his character from The Fly, if The Fly became a kingpin. And overall, this is a great movie. You'll enjoy it. You will want to see how it all ends, how it all turns out. Like I said, I'm going to admit it. I'm gonna say like 95% of the reason why I really wanted to see it was because of Sofia Boutella, and she does not disappoint either. Every scene that she was in, it was almost like watching her character from Kingsman before she lost her legs. And if you wanted to play with that and see a little bit of a prequel to that, maybe that's kind of how you could play it before she got to meet Samuel L. Jackson's character. But of course, it's not linked. There's also a little bit of a hidden little sneak message towards the end. So when the movie ends, pay close attention to a few seconds after the credits kind of start rolling. When the movie ends, you'll see a little hidden message for two of these characters, and you'll know what I mean when you see it. Otherwise, will there be a sequel? There's a hint to another hotel and another place where these characters could end up, or a sequel. I hope so. I think this movie deserves it. If not, it's a good standalone. But other than that, let me know what you guys think. Until next time, guys.